So I apologize in advance for my laryngitis, but let's get through this. The OrcaTorch D710. As you see, I have mine mounted on a Petzl Vertex vented helmet. I've been using helmets for many years up here in New England, not having to hold a light while trying to use a line reel, doing photography or wreck diving, or even salvage recovery is a plus. I will leave a link for the helmet in the description. It costs about $100. The D710 comes with two 21,700 5,000 mAh rechargeable batteries. Each has charge indicators, as you see. It comes with 3 spare O-rings, a lanyard, a nice travel case, a Type-C charging cable, no wall plugs, just the cable. The light has high, medium, and low settings, as well as a turbo setting. High lasts about an hour and 40 minutes at 1700 lumens. Medium, just shy of 4 hours at 800 lumens. And low, 7 hours and 40 minutes at 400 lumens. You can cycle through the modes just by pressing the button each time you want to switch. Turbo puts out a whopping 3000 lumens. Press and hold the button longer than a half second in any one of the 3 modes. If you let go, it exits turbo. Now, in my test, in turbo, stayed on as long as I held the button. The button, however, got super hot after about a minute. The button also has a small battery power light indicator in it. Green means good, over 30%. Red means between 10 and 30%. And a flashing red means you're under 10% of power remaining. It has a 6-degree beam angle. Anything between 4 and 19 basically is considered a spotlight, so it has a narrow beam. From a maintenance standpoint, just wash, soak in fresh water. I suggest you store the batteries outside of the light if you plan on not using it for an extended period of time. Regularly lubricate the O-rings. If the light acts up, it may need to be cleaned. Use a cotton swab dipped in alcohol to clean the connectors, and you're good to go.
Before I tested it in open water, I ran some tests in the pool. I wanted to ensure that the helmet and the lights were aligned properly so I had a nice tight focal area when using both lights. I then played with each normal setting, high, medium, and then low, first with a single light and then with both lights. As you can see in the pool, the beam distance was pretty good. Orca says they get roughly 262 meters of beam distance on land, roughly 800 feet. This pool is approximately 26 feet long. You can see in some of the shots the overlap of the 2 lights. Worked pretty well. The core beam radius was roughly 1 foot and the outer ring 3 feet. Certainly you could blind your dive buddy if you flash him in the face.
Let's see how well it does.
So now the real world test. This is the wreck of the Mary Alice, a Navy patrol boat sunk in 1918 in a collision with the O-13 submarine during the sub's sea trials. I will leave a link in the description if you are interested in her history. She sits between 45 and almost 60 feet depending upon whether you're in a hole. On this day the sky was overcast and we had an incoming tide after some heavy rains. This means lots of silt and muck in the water and backscatter. On days like these, lights are crucial. However, you don't always need the brightest light. Sometimes when wreck diving, low light is actually better to get a handle on your surroundings. I again played with each of the 3 settings, and each light worked as I hoped. I even tried the turbo mode. It was so bright, the backscatter, as you see in the video, was huge. The human eye is an incredible organ. For the record, it wasn't this dark on the bottom. This is how the iPhone and its ability to pick up the darkness is showing it, as black. Quite honestly, I had a GoPro Hero 9 as well, and it too had similar challenges at this depth in the darkness. So the good. It is depth rated to 150 meters or 450 feet. That's awesome. It can crank out 3000 lumen set on turbo. The housing is a high-grade, lightweight aluminum, reportedly aircraft grade. The case has a diamond-grade anodized saltwater resistant finish to help protect against corrosion. The lens glass is pressure resistant and has scratch resistant coatings on both sides. The button switch is titanium. The batteries are rechargeable. They have a safe lock function. They have an intelligent overheat protector if you were using it on land for an extended period of time, or if the light gets hotter than 65 degrees Celsius, roughly 150 degrees Fahrenheit. It has a battery charge light indicator, not only when charging the batteries themselves, but when using it that's located on the button. It has reverse polarity protection in case you put the battery in the wrong way, and an over-discharge protection function. It's lightweight but durable, only weighs 152 grams without the battery. It's compact, only 6 inches long, and under 1.5 inches at its widest point by the light. Not much to dislike about this light. The bad. In this clip, I am using the OrcaTorch on the right side of the screen and one of my photo lights on the left. I was also using a green filter on this test run. That was a contributor to the left side being a bit bluer. Normally I would never shoot with mixed Kelvin like this, but in fairness I left everything as default. You can see the difference in color. The Kelvin for the D710 is listed as 6500 K. Most strobes I've used are between 5000 and 5500 K. The D710 has a CRI about 70, which is okay in some cases. CRI, or Color Rendition Index, is a comparative scale from 0 to 100, 100 equaling natural sunlight. It measures how well a light can reproduce colors compared to sunlight. For underwater video, it is suggested to use lights with a CRI better than 80. For optimal results, 90 or better is preferred. Also, there's a lot of washout where the narrow beams are too concentrated for video. For those on a budget, it's a bit pricey, $160 per light. OrcaTorch does have another light I looked at, the D511, that also goes to 450 feet. It throws a consistent 2200 lumen with an 8-degree beam. My challenge with that light was at $260 per light, it didn't have the options I was looking for, and now I was spending well over $500. It can get really hot topside even with the overheat protection. So remember, you are not buying an all-purpose flashlight. This is a dive light. The turbo function must be held. My suggestion to OrcaTorch is, why not have a 4th setting? I'm a big boy. I know when the battery will drain, but having to hold it is a bit of a pain. And now the ugly. I don't really have an ugly. This is a great little light. Other than the price, I have to say I think this is my first review without an ugly. Go figure. Well, I hope you found this review of the OrcaTorch informative. Initially, I wasn't going to do a good, bad, or ugly on this light, but I figured, what the heck. As usual, I'm not associated with the manufacturer of this product. I have nothing to do with OrcaTorch. I paid for these lights myself, and the opinions are my own. So, for ratings, depth, I give it a 10. 450 feet is pretty awesome. For durability, I also give it a 10. This light is strong, saltwater resistant, and can take abuse. From an ease of use standpoint, I give it a 9. I did have some touch receptiveness issues with the button, but luckily that was pretty infrequent. From a versatility standpoint, I also give it a 9. I won't use it topside. I won't use it for photography. The turbo button should be a 4th preset. Since I use the lights associated with a helmet, I couldn't really swim around holding down on turbo mode when I had other things to use and I wanted to use it. From a cost standpoint, it gets a 9. Since I use these lights in pairs, I spent well over $300 for these, but it was worth it. So, my overall rating for the OrcaTorch, 9.4. This is a powerful, lightweight torch for diving up here in the Northeast, night diving, wreck diving, and I'm quite happy with it.
Do check out my other videos. I have a few more I'm working on for underwater housings for the iPhone 14. I hope you are all getting your opportunities to dive and having fun. And remember, until next time, go explore, get wet.